how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest gaming news. Today I want to talk about another small discovery involving the artistic vision behind The Elder Scrolls 6, as the senior world artist for Bethesda Game Studios has referenced more artwork to inspire the vision for TES 6 on his official ArtStation account. And for those that don't know what ArtStation is, it's a professional site used by artists to share their confirmed original works with one another, sometimes even going as far as sharing videos or parameters showing how their digital works could be recreated. Game artists have used creations on ArtStation as direct inspiration for their games in the past, and in the previous videos here on the channel I broke down several images that seem to have been taken directly from High Rock and Hammerfell, which are what the community believes the setting of The Elder Scrolls 6 most likely will be, myself included. And remember, although artists have indeed used images on ArtStation as direct inspiration for the visual aesthetics of their games in the past, we should still consider this information speculation, as it doesn't come directly from Bethesda Game Studios. However, in my opinion, I think it is very plausible that The Elder Scrolls 6 could indeed take direct inspiration from these images, and I also think the timing fits perfectly right along the development timeline for when the artists over at Bethesda Game Studios would most likely be doing artistic research for The Elder Scrolls 6, as Starfield is almost certainly finished and in the bug testing and endgame phases of development by now, meaning full production of The Elder Scrolls 6 should be going into full motion right now if it hasn't already. So with all that in mind, we're going to be breaking all of this information down together, that way you can see that my bullshit capacity meter is always running at 0%, and that way you can have the links and stuff to verify all of this information for yourself if you choose to. And if you want to let everyone know that your bullshit capacity meter is always running at 0%, head over to Loot Drop over on Teespring for the official Skullzi merchandise to get yourself a bullshit capacity meter t-shirt, coffee mug, or even a t-shirt to let everyone know just how often you get to that cloud district. And we're going to start our adventure right here at the official ArtStation profile for Josh J. You can see he is a senior world artist over at Bethesda Game Studios, and like I said, we broke down stuff on this profile in the past that seemed to directly inspire a Elder Scrolls game set in High Rock and Hammerfell. And in the previous video, this at the time was the most recent listed artwork that he referenced here by other artists that he either liked or that he will use for future inspiration for The Elder Scrolls 6 and possibly even Starfield. However, as you can see today, there are numerous more things here that we can break down. Now, not all of this is going to reference The Elder Scrolls 6, and some of these are indeed taken from other games. You have to keep in mind that sometimes these artists like Josh J are simply just liking other artwork that they like, and this artwork may not directly inspire any of the stuff they're working on. But if you watched my previous video, which I highly recommend you do before watching this one, if you haven't seen it already, you can see there is definitely 100% some heavy High Rock and Hammerfell vibes, and it's been confirmed by other game development artists that they do indeed go to ArtStation to take inspiration from other digital artists for the visual aesthetic for their own games. I'm sure this is no different with Josh J, as some of these images are definitely High Rock related. I mean, if we scroll back and look at some of these, they just scream High Rock, and even like Hammerfell, you can see this one right here is definitely some heavy High Rock vibes. This one right here is definitely some heavy Hammerfell vibes. But we're going to be breaking down the new images today, which take place after these elf ones and going up all the way up here. Now, most of the images that could be related to The Elder Scrolls 6 are actually set up towards the top, and like I said, not all of these are. I mean, I highly doubt The Elder Scrolls 6 or even Starfield is going to have like a Mario Kart, a cyberpunk motorcycle situation, although I would love to play a Mario game with those style of vehicles. But yeah, anyway, that's a different video for another time. We're going to start up towards the top right here, and we're going to start looking through these and kind of speculate a bit as to how they could directly inspire The Elder Scrolls 6, or what kind of Elder Scrolls vibes we can see in them. First off, this is kind of interesting. This kind of looks like it could be like the forgotten areas of High Rock, maybe way up north near the coast, or somewhere where the orcs might dwell, because the orcs originally do hail from High Rock. This would kind of be a crazy area to explore, and I would imagine it would be a high level area, a level that you probably shouldn't go to at a lower level. Even if there is like level scaling in the game, you would probably die here. This looks very foreboding and like an endgame kind of situation. Probably lots of old forgotten ruins and giant beasts down in here, and like I said, this is definite High Rock vibes, probably in the less settled areas of High Rock, but ultimately not much to see here. He does have a spear, so I mean, if we want to get crazy speculation with all our speculation salt, we could say that Elder Scrolls 6 will have spears confirmed, but like I said, this is just speculation. The guy just has a spear because the artist gave dude a spear. Next up, we have some more, like, dangerous-looking foreboding stuff. Again, this looks like it could be Northern High Rock. I mean, it also looks like it just as easily be Skyrim, but you can see there looks like giant birds or bats, or, I mean, maybe a combination of both. They definitely look like birds over here on the right. And then again, there's like one lone explorer going up towards a big, huge, like, forgotten, haunted manor with what looks like Dragon Age Inquisition stuff happening around it. And then by going down here and refreshing this, you can actually see how the artist shows how they built this digital creation. This is why game developers and other artists like to use ArtStation, because they kind of share not only their artwork, but kind of how they created it as well. Here we have another one of the towns that looks like it has similar architecture to the style of the towns that we broke down in the previous Elder Scrolls concept art inspiration video I did. This looks like it could very well be High Rock architecture. You can see there is a covered carriage or a caravan of some kind right down here, which gives me some heavy, like, Fable 2 vibes. And I could totally expect a, like, faraway, distant town in High Rock to kind of look like this, surrounded by steep hills and cliff edges, and that would make for a kind of unique environment and vibe. And again, another town that looks like to have those vibes. I mean, this kind of looks like it could be straight taken from Oblivion, and with that in mind, that gets me even more hyped, because I truly believe that whatever magical nostalgia people who played Oblivion felt, including myself, if you played and loved Oblivion, you know exactly that feeling that I'm talking about. It's hard to place, but it's just like this feeling of nostalgia that doesn't seem to have any direct correlation to it. However, I believe because of this architecture, because of the setting and stuff, that the Elder Scrolls 6 could very well capture on those same vibes that Oblivion had, because I mean, it's going to be kind of a similar setting to Cyrodiil, although not completely the same. I mean, it's going to have a little bit of those Skyrim vibes to it with the high rocks and like big cliff edges and just its own unique environment with the Dragontail Mountains and everything. But still, I truly believe it will have those Oblivion vibes, and that gets me hyped. You can see down here, like I said, the artists put up a video showing this digital 3D painting. You can see here are all the assets, and here we have what looks like a couple explorers going to some sort of what looks like it could be an old Dwemer ruin, or a ruin from an old, like, forgotten kingdom of some kind. I mean, it looks like it's a bridge with an archway, possibly going deep into the ground, deep into some kind of forgotten fortress or ruin or something. Like I said, definite High Rock vibes here. You can kind of pick up on that right away. And then here are some more of the assets used. I guess this is the archway that was kind of incorporated into the environment, which is really well done, by the way. I can totally see why Josh J is referencing this stuff, and you should totally be able to tell how he could use these images to directly inspire his creations within the world of the Elder Scrolls 6. This is a pretty one, but it's just more of like an artistic thing than a digital one. It just looks like what a deep forest in High Rock could look like, or maybe even like a jungle area of Hammerfell, because Hammerfell isn't all desert. There are actual green areas in Hammerfell, complete with jungles and, like, I believe rainforests. We haven't had a rainforest experience in an Elder Scrolls game really yet, so I would totally dig there to be an Elder Scrolls 6 rainforest region within Hammerfell. That would be a totally new vibe for the Elder Scrolls 6, and paired along with the desert environment, we would have like a new adventure for the first time in a single-player Elder Scrolls game, because most of our adventures in the past have been in kind of like the forested green area, except for Skyrim and Morrowind. Morrowind was pretty unique, definitely, and Skyrim was unique as well. It kind of had its mix of tundra, bit of forested area and rifted, and then, you know, the giant snowy mountains and frozen wastes of the north. But a rainforest and a desert area haven't really been truly done in a recent single-player Elder Scrolls game, so I would totally dig that. And again, we have another artistic render of what a rainforest or deep forest in the Elder Scrolls could easily look like. I don't know if High Rock would have any forests like this, but Hammerfell definitely could, although those forests obviously wouldn't be as common as, say, the desert and stuff. But again, it's interesting to see this image paired alongside this image. Both of them together seem to create what the aesthetic of an Elder Scrolls rainforest could possibly be. Here we have trees, just trees, pretty little trees. So, I mean, there's gonna be trees in the Elder Scrolls 6. Yay, trees. This has some heavy Cyrodiil vibes, or High Rock, I suppose. But again, this looks super pretty and could very well be what like an inn or a tavern could look like in High Rock, alone on the road, like the only building surrounded by miles of open hills and forests. And again, there are some assets down here. A video by the artist showing you how to create this visual rendering here. Obviously, I doubt the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to have anime style, but that doesn't mean that the artist couldn't just take the visual aesthetic of this and kind of incorporate it into the Elder Scrolls 6 art style if there's going to be like any views like this. It'd be funny for whenever the Elder Scrolls 6 does come out in 2055 if someone plays the game and remembers this video and sees a site exactly like this and then can pinpoint the inspiration directly back to this piece of artwork. We'll have to keep our eyes open when we play the Elder Scrolls 6 for stuff like that, if we still have normal organic eyes by the time the game comes out, that is. Here we got rock assets. This looks like it totally could have inspired Skyrim, and I do expect High Rock to have a region that looks very identical to Skyrim, because I mean High Rock is right up there near Skyrim, right up near the northern edge of Tamriel, so it would have to have the snowy mountains and stuff that Skyrim had, at least in certain portions of its map. This looks interesting. Maybe we'll have an enemy like this deep in the forgotten ruins of the Elder Scrolls 6. I'm not sure. Maybe this is like a corrupt creature, corrupted through some kind of like bad magic or something. Maybe this is another forgotten form of elf that the Dwemer tortured by feeding rotten poisonous mushrooms. Who knows, but this could directly inspire an enemy within the world of the Elder Scrolls 6 or something. I mean, it is kind of unique and scary. It would be cool for there to be more unique enemy styles in the Elder Scrolls 6, so that's something I'd totally be down for. Here we have like this looks totally like an image taken directly from Skyrim. I mean, that looks like a dragon wall. This could very well just be some sort of Skyrim fan art that Josh J just simply liked, but at the same time, this could directly inspire something in High Rock, because it does look like it could take place in High Rock. I mean, again, there are going to be certain regions in High Rock that look similar to Skyrim, but I just have the feeling that we might not be finished with dragon walls, or at least something that looks like dragon walls within the Elder Scrolls. Maybe there will be something in High Rock similar to the dragon walls. Maybe we won't be a dragonborn, or maybe we will be a dragonborn again. I mean, who knows? Either way, I'm wondering what Bethesda Game Studios will put into the Elder Scrolls 6 to make it unique and special, kind of like how the dragon shouts in the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim made that game have its own unique twist and flair to it. There looks like this is some kind of secret society stuff going on, maybe a sacrifice, or maybe even a Daedric cult. Who knows? Pretty cool image though, definite Elder Scrolls vibes. Looks like there is another robed member in this. Looks like some kind of like druid, or maybe some sort of hag raven, or some kind of weird like deep forest magic stuff going on. Some kind of hedge mage vibes for real here. And this looks like this would more be along the lines of Morrowind or maybe Blackmarsh, more than High Rock or Hammerfell, but maybe there are marshy areas in High Rock. I mean, there are numerous lakes and stuff, and rivers, I'm sure, and a coastline, so it is possible for there to be a marsh-like area or region in High Rock. Either way, even the architecture of this building definitely has some Elder Scrolls vibes to it. And then this poor guy hanging from the tree. Wow, actually, there's multiple people hanging from the tree. That's not good. Anyway, yeah. We have some images that look more anime than anything, but I could imagine maybe a Zura or a different Daedric prince to kind of look like this, or a Daedra of some kind, but I don't want to keep this image on screen too long in case I get demonetized. Here's an image that looks interesting. This looks like some like very, very fancy royal High Rock city stuff, or possibly Hammerfell. Either way, whatever this could inspire is definite like rich city vibes. This looks like it could be ancient architecture, and this could possibly inspire maybe a palace or a royal building or an old ruin of an ancient society or something that we could eventually find exploring in the Elder Scrolls 6. Of course, if there's something like this, I would imagine it would be tied to the main quest, because a lot of work would go into designing and creating a building like this within the game. Either way, only time will tell. We really don't know how these images could directly inspire the Elder Scrolls 6, or if they even do, but I have a very good feeling that most of the images we've been breaking down in this video will at least have some sort of direct inspiration to TES 6. Here we have some cool architecture stuff. Now this looks like it could be taken from the Elder Scrolls, except in my opinion this looks more like Somerset Isle architecture than High Rock architecture, but maybe there are some elven settlements within High Rock. I don't know. Maybe some High Rock architecture could kind of look like this. Well, this is a cool picture nonetheless, but nothing that we could really directly take from this that reminds me of the Elder Scrolls. This, though, has some High Rock vibes for sure, and it would be totally cool to see like a walkway like this in the Elder Scrolls 6 as you walk up to some sort of huge, like, ruined castle that you're about to explore. There are usually like at least 1 or 2 ruins in Elder Scrolls games that are just huge, that could take hours to totally explore, and it would be awesome if there's a castle like this in the Elder Scrolls 6 with this long walkway that just kind of builds up up the suspense and the drama as you approach this place. Another image that carries those High Rock vibes, and as I was talking about earlier, this is kind of how I would imagine distant cities and towns to look like in High Rock, kind of on cliff's edges, surrounded by just rocks and open plains and grasslands and steep hills. And at night it would look totally cool because these buildings would light up the surrounding countryside, especially with that next-gen ray tracing lighting technology that I'm sure the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to use. This totally has some Black Marsh vibes. Now this is strange because this is like the second image that looks like it should be from Black Marsh more than anything else. Maybe High Rock has ancient trees or something, sort of like the Hiss, or maybe there is like an Argonian settlement complete with some rare Hists within High Rock as well, although I don't think that would be very likely. There could be like a new living tree race in High Rock, totally separate from the Hists, that we will get to discover in the Elder Scrolls 6, or maybe we'll learn more about just tree species within the Elder Scrolls games in general. Either way, this is totally scary, and I would imagine these knights don't really have much of a chance against these giant trees. I mean, they're probably gonna die. More of those High Rock vibes, dude. Look at this freaking river. That's so pretty. Bob Ross is gonna paint it. I wish he would. Actually, it would be cool for him to paint some Elder Scrolls art, but he's not going to because of reasons. But anyway, this totally looks like it can inspire some definite High Rock vibes, and the High Rocks here definitely are High Rocks, so High Rock. This is a cool image. I don't know if it could inspire any Elder Scrolls 6 stuff, but if there is like a stick bridge over a ravine, I'm sure that could happen in High Rock. I mean, High Rock does have those high rocks, and people do like to build bridges between two high rocks, so again, High Rock. And here we are with some more stuff that looks like it could inspire some TES 6 brilliantness. And there are dragon bones in a lake surrounded by High Rocks. So again, High Rock. But I mean, if you just imagine this view, you're just exploring the Elder Scrolls 6, you're exploring High Rock. It's been a minute since you've seen anything interesting, but you climb a distant hill, and then right when you get to the hill, right when you get to the top of it and you look down, you see this big lake with massive dragon bones in the middle of it, covered up with moss like this. That would be an epic discovery, an epic sight, and Bethesda Game Studios artists in the past, especially the world artists, have said that they like for there to be always something interesting to see wherever you go, like within the camera thing. No matter where you look, they want there to be some kind of interesting visual aesthetic for you to see, and this would be one of those things that would probably be interesting to see. So definite High Rock vibes here, definite Elder Scrolls vibes, and it would be an amazing discovery, all at the same time. And then last we have this. This guy looks like it could be a male Spriggan, but I don't believe there are male Spriggans in the Elder Scrolls lore. However, this could just be some sort of hedge mage or nature druid of some kind as well. Pretty interesting. Maybe this will be a unique character that looks kind of like this character that is inspired from this artwork that we can find in the Elder Scrolls 6. But that basically finishes up today's video. There's a lot of artwork here. Not all of it looks like it could directly inspire the Elder Scrolls 6. Like, obviously, I don't think that there will be pink cars or cars at all in the Elder Scrolls, or some of these images might just be stuff that the artist likes, but as I said, you can definitely see some Elder Scrolls and High Rock vibes in these images, which in my opinion is clear indication that Josh J is using these artistic images as direct inspiration while he creates the world and the visual aesthetic for the Elder Scrolls 6. As always, what I want to know is, what do you think about all of this? What would you like to see in the Elder Scrolls 6? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below, and if your comment wins the internet, you may get featured in a future video. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed the content, and if you want to stay in the know when it comes to the latest gaming news, be sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss the latest uploads. Follow me over on Twitter for news that doesn't quite make it into my videos, as well as channel updates. And come over to the official Discord community server, where there is always an awesome and active conversation and some speculation taking place. Check out Loot Drop for that official Skullzi merch, and if you want to have your hand in providing future content, you can become an exclusive channel member over on Patreon, here on YouTube, or over at Ko-fi as well. Links for all of these awesome things are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time, when the Elder Scrolls 6 is just a chip that you put in your head to literally live in Tamriel. The future is scary.
just works.